Boom! What's going on, everyone? This is Steve Larson. Welcome back to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. Today I'm very excited to share with you a little bit more on how I actually get paid to find my leads. If you're like me, you know MLM is an amazing opportunity to grow a real asset for yourself. But you also see that there's huge issues starting to emerge. Like, why haven't big MLMs let tactics change in over 30 years? Or why have they been cutting commissions smaller and smaller? Or even, how dumb is it that old MLM rules say you'll get in trouble when you use the internet to grow your team? These are some of the blaring questions we all face today. This podcast will show you how real MLMers like us are waging war on the old dying methods. And we aren't cheating by only bugging uninterested family and friends. Follow this podcast while I expose the shocking methods I'm using to build my 10,000 person downline and get people begging to join my team daily. Here's to the new tactics without all those old, rusty MLM shackles. My name is Steve Larson, and welcome to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. What's up, guys? Hey, I'm psyched for today. You know, in the past, I have taught this concept several times, but I want to share with you guys some more examples. When I was going around and I was talking to a bunch of friends and family, and I was doing exactly what I was supposed to do, and I'm not bad-mouthing that. You understand? There's nothing wrong with talking to friends and family. Where I have the issue is when you know already before you even approach them, when you know, hey, they're not going to be a great fit, but you go forward anyway, or you kind of have to convince them in. Have you ever noticed that those are the people that you kind of have to hold a cattle prod to their back to get them to do anything, right? I don't want that kind of individual in. I want somebody who wants to be in, who wants to be a runner, who is ready to work, right? And who actually wants to build a real asset and not just like a little money on the side, right? I want actual runners. People are looking to build a business. Well, every business needs leads, all right? So what do you do? And that was the issue I ran into. I remember when I finally walked through my entire list, and there were multiple times I wrote out like 240 people, and I was like, look at all these people. Oh my gosh, and if they got even a fifth of that, and you start playing the percentage game, what island will I buy, right? And I joke about that, but that was like one of the things that I was like, holy cow. And it was one of the things that I was super concerned about when it suddenly wasn't working. Because I was like, where else do I get my leads from? I have no idea where to get my leads. And suddenly the business was dead, and I couldn't talk to anybody. And this is something that if you've not run into in the past, like, you're gonna run into it, right? If you don't figure out a lead machine, if you don't figure out a lead system, it's going to die, right? Every business that does not have consistent leads and cash flow dies, right? And so, especially, anyway. Okay, those two things though, those are the two focuses, and those are like two numbers you should always watch. How many leads am I getting? Actual leads, not just like, oh, I'm kind of interested. No, qualified leads. How many? Track them every month. In fact, we started doing that on a whiteboard. I'm pointing over there because that's where the whiteboard was holding all that for a while. When we started actually tracking the leads, for some reason, without me even like consciously doing more, we like doubled the next month. And then after that, it was like another 50% higher than that, like just by us tracking it. It's a really weird principle. I encourage you to start tracking the amount of leads coming in. But anyway, so I want to share with you guys one of my absolute favorite ways to not only get leads, but also get them faster while not having to pay for them, okay? Because you need to understand a principle here that all of us internet marketers understand well, and that is that whoever can pay the most to acquire a customer wins. Okay, that's it. You can even have a worse product, but be able to spend more to acquire customer profitably, and you will win against the people who have better products. It's one of the major reasons why when big MLMs say things like, the product's so great, just go get it in front of the people and it sells itself. That might be true to a very small percentage of people, but the reality is that if I can spend $50 to acquire a customer and still be making money, and you can only spend $5, I am going to dominate you, even with a worse product. And it's why you have to think about this is like, okay, so how do I actually make a lead machine? And that's all I really do is I'm teaching how to make lead machines and wait for them to qualify themselves and say, you know what, I'm interested, Steven. I'm interested in whatever you're doing. Let me come over and start chatting with you. Okay. And so I have some numbers here, and what I don't want this to be is like, look at Steven showing all the numbers of all the stuff he's making, right? Can we all like raise our hand right now and be like, I will not get offended, right? Because I want to share with you guys real live stats of things that I'm actually doing. This is just one of my products, right? That is actually generating leads for me qualifying them, teaching them, and then the ones that are like a good fit, I'm not saying that they're not good if they don't join my downline, right? Some of them already have one, which is great. They should stay in theirs, right? I'm not trying to pull from other places for like, that's not what I'm doing here. What I'm saying is there's a group of people who are already unhappy with what they're in, who are already like MLM, who already are a good fit, who are ready to actually jump. Does that make sense? There's a certain kind of a moons aligned individual. And is it everybody? No. And it shouldn't be. And that's okay. Okay. So what I do is I create these front end products, right, that are unaffiliated with my MLM. It doesn't even say what I'm in. It's unaffiliated. I don't teach their stuff. I'm not selling their products. I don't do anything. I have something literally in the front here, right? If I got my MLM here, boom, here we go. If I got my MLM stuff, and I don't talk about it. I'm not speaking about it. I'm not saying the name of the product. I'm not even alluding. You understand? I keep my nose so clean on not saying what it is that I'm actually in. And I know it drives some of you guys crazy, but that's the point. That's why it works, is because I'm strict on this. Okay. What I do is I create these front end products, okay, that go and attract the dream person that I would love to have inside my downline. So I'm going to have this downline right here, or this dream customer, and identify that. It's going to be really hard to attract your dream customer or your dream downline member if you don't even know what that looks like. So get good at defining what your dream is. And we talk a lot more about that. If you're liking this stuff, by the way, go to secretmlmhacks.com and grab the program, okay? So secretmlmhacks.com, we go through more of this kind of stuff. But like, right, I'll draw this guy with a little crown. Right, he's the dream customer right there. And what I'm going to go do is I'm going to figure out what this person is struggling with. And I'm going to figure out what things that they're having a hard time with. Maybe they haven't gotten over their fear of talking to somebody. How could I make a general product, right? Meaning it's not MLM company specific. How can I make a product teaching people how to overcome their fear of speaking to people? How could I do that, right? Oh, cool. So what I do is I go list out a whole bunch of problems. Problems. And I go through and I look to see the ones that I could solve. Like, oh, you know what? I actually know what it's like to be afraid of speaking to people. Here's how I got over that. What if I was to film a small little course and I could go sell that for a little bit of money? Sell it. Don't give it away for free. Okay. Sell it. And then, right, then I got this list of products. I'm like, oh, that one's gonna be cool. That one's gonna be cool. And then now I have that product and I have that product and that product, and it's not affiliated with my MLM. Not affiliated. Right? Doesn't say the name, doesn't say the product, no alluding to, there's no crossover, there's nothing, right? All I'm doing now is I'm creating actual value. Guys, somebody asked a little bit ago what value is. Value, this is my definition of value. Value is when you solve legitimate, okay, legitimate, valuable, I can't use the definition of the thing in definition. Sorry, it meant expensive. Okay. Problems. Okay, they're problems. Value is when you solve a legitimate, expensive problem. It has to be expensive, right? Because you need to get paid. This is capitalism, right? It has to be legitimate because it can't be like, well, you know, it's a serious issue. Like one of my favorite Shark Tank episodes ever, the reason why they didn't even want to take the time of day to listen to this lady is because they were like, you didn't solve an actual issue here. You just made it an interesting trinket. And then she was like, no, it's a real problem. They're like, it's not a real problem. It's like a cute thing that, you know what I'm saying? You have to solve an actual issue, right? Value is solving a legitimate, expensive problem. That's it. So how can I cause value in whatever they're doing? I want them to have success in their thing, right? And then I'm going to solve these, and I'm going to make my own products, and I'm going to sell them because it's capitalism, right? And then I'm going to make this big old list of people from the people who are buying and not buying, right? Here's the buyers. And here's the people who just opted in. So they didn't actually purchase, but they opted in. And then what I'm going to go do is I'm just going to keep providing value, both the buyers, I'm going to sell them the next thing. The people who just opted in, I'm going to get them to try to buy the current thing. And that's it. Okay? But what it allows me to do is spend ad money. I don't take I don't really take much profit from these things. That's not the point. The point is to recoup ad cost. Because if I can spend money on ads, right, and I got ads, I can talk to so many more dream people than those who are not spending ads. Money moves faster than time. Okay? So I'm going to go spend money on ads, then they're going to come pay me money, and I'm just going to recycle it right back into the ads. But what it's doing is it's spitting out a list of qualified people who have said, I'm really actually serious about this. You know the mentality of somebody who spends nothing versus $1? It's so much different. Free versus $1. Although it's only $1, right? Free versus $1 is the longest road ever. And it is the greatest barrier ever. And that's why you can sell something that's like super cheap. And this is how I do it. Now I got a list of people who are buyers, and I'm going to ask them to buy the next thing. And I'm not talking about my MLM. I'm not talking about the products. I'm not alluding to the products. I'm not trying to be sneaky. I'm not trying to ride the line as much as I can. Okay. So what I want to do real quick is I want to share with you guys. Now we call this process right here. And I'm walking through this again here because we've noticed this is one of the major questions people have, and they get like stressed out about it. Okay. Just keep it simple. All I'm doing is making a product solving a legitimate issue in the marketplace that people pay for that is completely unaffiliated with my MLM. Okay? We call this process a self-liquidating offer. Meaning I'm going to make an offer, but it self-liquidates. I'm not selling it to go make a bunch of money and take it. I'm only doing it so that I can spend more on ads that attracts my dream customer. So all I do is I make a cool product that only my dream customer would be interested in. You know what? I want to talk to only those people who have had a hard time, a scary time with talking to people. They have a hard time opening their mouth. They don't know what to say in front of people. They clam up. When you're like, man, I've got a story around that. I used to have that, and here's how I got around it. In fact, I'm going to go toss in a few cool other pieces of research and maybe talk to a few other people who know more about those topics and maybe professional speakers. How did you get around it? How did you get around it? How did you get around it? Do you mind if I say that in this product here? Oh, okay, cool, right? And you go get permission to put them inside of certain things. And anyway, and it's super easy. This is a very simple thing to go through and realize like, oh my gosh, that's what he's doing. Yeah, if you like this, again, go to secretmlmhacks.com and buy the program. Okay. So we have, there's my blatant pitch. As we've gotten further down the show, I'm just more blatantly pitching it because I'm like, look, because some of the feedback we'll get from the podcast, I mean, it's awesome. It's great. It's legitimate feedback. But sometimes I'm just like, it's in the program. Just go to the program. Like, I can't give you everything on this podcast, and I'm not. Okay. But when you come over here and you say, okay, I'm going to go find what is my dream customer? What issues are they having? What of those are legitimate and valuable and expensive problems that I could actually solve, right? Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to make that, and I'm going to make it really awesome. I'm going to over-deliver. I'm going to put more stuff in there than they're spending money for, right? I want a reputation for delivering more value than they bought, okay? Which is what I do, and my offers are so huge, okay? And why I put so much stuff in them to help you and actually accelerate the success with it, okay? I'm going to pump tons and tons of stuff in there, way more. Then they're like, man, this guy's really helping me, right? They come and they purchase, they buy the product, and then now I have a list of people who bought it and those who didn't, and that's okay too. But now I'm the buyer's list. Maybe they'll buy the next thing, right? Maybe they'll buy the next thing. Maybe they'll buy the next thing. And all that's doing is feeding the pot of ads, right? Feeding the pot of ads, feeding the pot of ads, feeding the pot of ads. And those who opted in, maybe they just need to hear more of my stuff. Let's send them to the podcast, or if you're publishing, let's send it to, right? And then there's always a group of people, always, right, who run back and eventually, right, this is its own island. No one's seeing it, no one's touching it. I'm not pitching it. I'm not, right? This is its own island. There's always people who reach out and say, Steven, dude, whatever you're in, I just want to join it because I like the structure that you're giving. And I'm like, cool. Did I outbound pitch? No. Did I talk about my MLM in these ads? Heck no. Did I talk about my MLM in these products? Absolutely not, right? Do I go it's a separate island, and that's why it works so well. So I want to share with you guys just a few numbers on this so you guys can see how powerful of a principle this really, really is here, because it's life-changing, and it changes the entire MLM model. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? It's multi-level marketing. That doesn't mean you can't use actual tactics that are used in other businesses for real also, right? Okay, so check this out. So one of the products that I sell is this secret MLM Hacks product. And I just want to share with you guys some of the numbers on this so that you guys can see me doing this in live action, okay? So what I have over here is I have a dream customer, right? And I'm like, woo, dream customer. It looks more like hair than the dream customer, like, yeah, dream customer. And I have my, let me write it on the edge here, my MLM, right? My MLM downline, right? And remember, it's its own island. Not talking about it, not sharing anything about it, keeping it separate because I need to, both from the MLM standpoint, and keeping it separate because I need to from Facebook standpoint. They're gonna have a hard time with that. Plus, it's just, don't ride the line, okay? Don't see how close you can get to the line. I don't teach that. I don't want you to do that. You're not out there trying to poach either. But anyway, what I do is I have this program in the middle, which is what I tell you guys to go to, called Secret MLM Hacks. Okay. Now, as of right now, me recording this, it is a $1,000 program. It's $997. We are increasing the price to $1,500, if not $2,000 soon. And I'll tell you the only reason why is because we have found that the person who is our dream customer, they're already usually at a certain level of success. It's fine if you're new, right? And we have options for you if you can't afford that kind of thing. That's totally fine. Okay. But the other reason is because I have a lot of people who come in now and are helping to fulfill on it. I have to pay them too, right? It's a lot. So I'm going to show you gross numbers. This is not the actual profit numbers. I should have pulled them before I started this episode. I just didn't think about it until right now. Anyway, so over the last year, now I've been selling Secret MLM Hacks for over a year and a half now. So I just grabbed the most recent year, okay? The last year, and right now it's July 26th. So I grabbed July 26th to the beginning of July 2018. Okay, so July 2018. July 2018 through 2019. Okay, Secret MLM Hacks. Okay, so I printed my stats sheet right before I got on this. If you can see that right there. There we go. We got $429,000. All right. The earnings per click up here in the top, we're getting about, what is that? $54. I'm reading it backwards. $54 per click, which is pretty awesome. And then the average cart value, this is the one I want to walk you guys through here real quick, okay? The average cart value is $1,157, okay? Meaning for every purchaser of Secret MLM Hacks, even though it's a $997 product, we're actually getting more than that. And I want to share with you guys why and why this is such a powerful principle. So I'm going to walk through, hopefully it's all right. Okay, there we go. Hopefully it's all right for me to share that and no one's like, oh my gosh, dude, don't feel taken advantage of. Like, it's so weird when people do that. What I want you to do is I want you to look at it and be like, how can I also? Okay? Not, I don't qualify. It's how can I? Okay? And think through this because anyway. So check this out. So just in the last year, and we haven't spent that much in ads. Okay, so I'm going to walk through a few numbers on this. So this is done, and y'all are right if I actually share some numbers here, so it's educational, and you're like, duh, this is so cool. Like, please take it from this standpoint and not like, wow, that's $430,000, right? You cool with that? All right, so we have $429,000. Okay, $429,000, and there's a principle here that I want you to understand with this too, is that if I have a list right here, and I understand that the last few podcast episodes I've done on this show have been a lot more informational and instructional, but they're still from a 30,000 foot view, and it's just so that you understand more also of what I'm doing. A few people are like, you can't do that. Well, I am doing it, right? And here's proofs in the pudding. So the last few episodes we've done are for that purpose, is to walk you guys through more of the actual, okay, here's a little more than nitty gritty so you understand what's going on. And no, I'm not the only one doing it. And no, I actually didn't invent this, okay? What I did is I observed, and I'm just doing the same. And now I'm loud about it, okay? All right, so we have a list of people, both of people who just kind of opted in. And then we have a list of people who are buyers. Okay? Now, these are pretty good numbers. They're good stats. What you have to understand is that there's a metric us in the internet marketing space follow. And the metric is that for every person, so you usually make $1 per person per month on your list. If you're bad, okay? $1 per person per month on your list, okay? Now, what I want to circle here is a few numbers so you guys can check this out here. Check this out right here. Now, this is how many people have actually registered to see the webinar. You can't, it's washed out. Anyway, so 40 in the last year, 46,000 people have seen the registration page, but 22,000 people actually opted in. So that's a 48% registration rate. That's actually really good. Okay, so we have 22,000 people who've opted in. Okay, and there's always people who opt out, and that's part of the game, and that's okay. So right now, I'll tell you that we have 20,000 people on that list. So about 2,000 people have opted out, and that's totally cool, okay? If they really have a hard time with it, opt out, okay? Stop following me. I'm telling you that right now also. It's like that's okay when people do that to you, okay? In fact, sometimes I've invited them, okay? Like, yay, look, you're not a fit, and that's all right. I'm not the only fish in the pond, man. Go follow someone else. If you really have a seriously hard time with this, like, go. You don't have to listen, right? Get out, and that's okay. And so of this, there's 2,000 people. Or sorry, 20,000 people, because 2,000 have opted out. Okay, so 20,000 people on there on that list. Now, there's one other piece to this. Now we have spent about $70,000 in ads, and have $429,000 in revenue, right? Which is pretty awesome. Okay, so think about this. Would you spend 70 grand to generate 400? Absolutely, right? Absolutely. Let me think about this here real quick, though. Okay, so boom. That's in revenue. In ads, we've spent about, in fact, let me get rid of this here. Okay. Okay, up here at the top. Boom. So in ads, 429,000. Sorry, guys, just a moment. Revenue, ads, we spent about 70,000. Okay, here's what's crazy about this. What's so nuts about this is that I actually created, so this is an SLO right here, right? This is an SLO. I'm gonna go create a cool piece of value which teaches something amazing, and then hopefully on their own, if they want to, there's no pitch, there's nothing, but there are people asking to come join my downline, right? There's no pitch, but they come and they ask, right? I'm just driving ads to this. We spent 70 grand in ads. In the last year, we generated 429,000. We're not spending ads that aggressively. Actually, I look at this and I'm kind of kicking myself because I'm like, that could be way bigger, right? Okay, but check this out. We have this thing here. We have revenue, ads. We have an SLO for the ads themselves. So this whole thing is called a self-liquidating offer. But I want to keep more of that, right? So I don't want to just sacrifice 70 grand. Maybe there's a way I could liquidate that 70 grand too. And so what we did is we created a self-liquidating offer for that. Self-liquidating offer. And it's a chatbots thing. It's really cool. Now you can see here in the last year, the SLO order form. So the chatbots, we've had, crap, I don't know if you guys can see that. There we go. Anyways, we've had 957 people purchase our $57 thing. So 957 people purchased that. That's a revenue of $54,500. So I say 54 grand. Okay, so at 54 grand in SLO revenue. Okay. Which is crazy, which means, so the 54,000 subtracts from the 70. So really, I've really only spent $16,000 in ads, right, to generate around $400,000 in cash. Now the numbers there might get a little bit weird or whatever, and I'm not amazing at math. I actually got straight D's in math in high school. I got Mercy graduated, so you can do this. Is my point. So if those numbers are like, that's not right or whatever, like just so you understand, like. We've had 371 purchases of secret MLM hacks in the last year. So this is including the 70 grand. So that's probably where I should drop this out here. Sorry, guys. Again, not awesome at math. $369,000. We've spent 70, and then we also we've revenued 54 grand. So subtract the ads, but add back that revenue, right? And that is equal to, I have no idea because I'm not amazing at ads. But basically, we have a whole product here that is basically paying for our ads. And that's the point, okay? You guys are like, man, you really don't. Steven, you really are not amazing at math. I know. I'm not, okay? I know I'm not. I'm good at marketing math, but even then, with some limits, okay? What I know is $1 in, $1 out, and that generates a lead. You guys can pull this stuff off too, okay? But that's the whole point, is that we are almost completely removing our ad cost by having this self-liquidating offer. It's a chatbots thing that they're offered. It says like, hey, this isn't the actual thing that you're going to, but if you want it, it's kind of cool. Well, 957 people have paid $57. That's 54 grand. But in general, we've spent about 70 grand to generate it, which means we're putting $1 in and getting an average over the last year, $1 in and getting 3, 4, 5 out, something like that. Okay. So I want to run one more number by you on this, because this is what real marketers on the internet actually look at. And this is why I fight so hard when people are like, I'm in marketing, I'm in multi-level marketing. I'm like, that's not really marketing, okay? What I'm talking about right now is marketing, right? Marketing math. A marketing message, when you learn how to do all that stuff, that's in Secret MLM Hacks. Come learn how to do that in Secret MLM Hacks, okay? Okay, but check this out. We do about $2 per person per month on this list, okay? Because I'm not bad and I'm not new, right? So $2 per person, 2 to 3 actually, $2 to $3 per person per month on this list. Okay, so what I did is I grabbed the last quarter of numbers so you guys can check this out also. Okay, so in the last quarter, oops, here we go. And it's just, the whole point of the episode is for you to see some live examples of this, okay? So Secret MLM Hacks is $997 right now, right? We're gonna increase the price. And that's not a ploy, we really are, because we're giving too much for the price. The chatbots thing, that is $57. And I'll have a whole episode about that in the future so you can see what we did there and how I did it and how I created it, because I don't know how to make chatbots. You don't? Nope. Okay. I'm an aggregator, baby. Okay. So this whole machine, what's interesting is in the last quarter, it's 160 grand in the last quarter, right? The last 3 months. This is April 1st through July 26th of this year. Okay, so 160 grand in the last quarter. Okay, the average cart value. Okay, so when somebody buys a Secret MLM Hacks, right, how much money is actually coming through per person? What's interesting is the average cart value is above $997. Okay, it's actually $1,146. Okay, $1,146. What does that tell us? Right? What's 997 removed from $1,146? Right? What is that? That's 4? Meaning people are buying about, for every 4 chatbot sales, we're getting 1 Secret MLM Hack sale. Isn't that crazy? Now, when I go talk to my ads people, right now, like in the last week, I think we spent on ads like 2 or 3 grand. 3 grand on ads, but it generated, how much did we make last week on ads? It's like, it's like $13,000. So we put 3 grand in and got 13 out. Okay, I'm just giving you guys some real live numbers on this stuff. Guess what? I don't know how to drive Facebook ads. I don't need to know how to drive Facebook ads. I don't know how to do most of the things that my business does. Because to be an entrepreneur is not to be an expert in everything. Just go find the who that knows the how and orchestrate it, baby, right? Go put it together. And so the point of this episode is to share with you guys real live examples of this stuff moving, some actual numbers going in. So we're putting $1 in. For every dollar we're putting in, we're getting, what is that, over 4 out? Which is exactly what I'm talking about, right? Check that out. We are actually almost completely liquidating right now. Because those numbers I showed you over the last year, they've improved since a year ago. The numbers now are way better than the numbers even a year ago, right? And so we're putting $1 in and we get 3, 4, 5, 6 out, like depending on the week or whatever. And it's crazy. It actually was higher until Facebook apocalypse happened. Anyway, but that's just the whole point. Putting $1 in for every dollar in, right? We're getting, for every dollar going in, yeah, we get, what is that, $4 out. Tell me another investment vehicle that can do that. You know another place that can give you 400%. Oh no, wait, last week it was 500. Anyway, I don't remember the numbers. I think it was more like $2,500. We had a 520% ROI on our ads. Okay. But most of those ads are getting paid for by this chatbot, which means the whole $997 for the most part is largely profit as far as product profit, right? I'm sorry, ads. Then there's a bunch of stuff we go pay out on, and we have to pay for fulfillment, and that's why we're going to increase the price here soon as well. Okay, but anyways, I just hope what this episode has done for you is giving you a little bit more of an eye-opener as to what the heck I'm talking about when it comes to SLO. There's very specific things I'm talking about in this episode. I'm not promoting my MLM. I'm not talking about my MLM. I'm not even alluding to it. I'm not alluding to what the product is that I'm selling. I am keeping it on its own separate island. What I'm making is very separate on their own, actual valuable products that solve legitimate problems for the marketplace that attract my dream customer. And then I just seek ways to pay for the ad costs as it moves forward, guys. So anyway, hopefully it's been a powerful episode for you, and your brain, I don't know if it's going all over, but rewatch this. I challenge you to go and get Secret MLM Hacks. Go to secretmlmhacks.com, and hopefully you enjoyed this. Guys, we'll see you on the next one. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening. Please remember to rate and subscribe. Hey, I know it's tough to find people to pitch after your warm market dries up, right? That moment when you finally run out of family and friends to pitch. I don't see many uplines teaching legitimate lead strategies today, though. You see, after years of being a lead funnel builder online, I got sick of the garbage strategies most MLMs have been teaching their recruits for decades. So whether you simply want more leads to pitch or an automated MLM funnel, head over to secretmlmhacks.com to join the next free training. There you're going to learn the hidden revenue model that only the top MLMers have been using to get paid regardless if you join them. You're also going to learn the 3-step system I use to auto-recruit my downline of big producers without friends or family even knowing that I'm in MLM. If you want to do the same for yourself, head over to secretmlmhacks.com now. Again, that's secretmlmhacks.com.